Hey guys, and welcome to the 10th show of the Colossus Let's Play here. That means we have about 6 of them to go. We're way past the mid-range here, and we're starting to get near the end of the game. As we progress through these areas, the story itself will start to unfold a bit more. And also, surprises are still yet to abound here, so... don't worry, it's not all the same, it's not all repetitive. You're going to enjoy this. The thing is, at that point of the dream that you had at the last one, you will notice a deterioration period over for Wander. This journey is starting to become more and more difficult.
Will that affect the gameplay itself?
Beyond what he looks like and storyline-wise, not so much his performance. Your grip gauge, of course, is going much higher, which you'll need. But it's one of those things that it's generally kind of more the viewpoint of him still fighting to get where he's going, despite all of his physical and mental deterioration. And that's how you jump, and I'm just having fun. That's how you jump. This is how you jump.
Whose mind is deteriorating here?
Who would like to join me? See, this is me trying to do the jump on thing, and it's not working. What are you doing? That was awkward.
Stop glitching through me.
Speaking of Colossus that are really easy to lose placement of, this one can be a bitch to find if you don't know where you're going. Don't worry, I'm not going to get forest lost again, despite the amusement of that. But let's just say, before I did these Let's Plays, watching me ride to some of these Colossus was exhausting. Because I'd just be sitting there pretty much walking into corners and stuff like that. No benefit. Kind of like that.
As an example.
I did it on purpose, of course, just to show you.
And I notice we're still having trouble deciphering Colossi from Colossus.
I've been doing pretty good with it. I'm doing better. Especially compared to the first one where I just called him Colossi the whole time. But yeah, this Colossus's name is Dirge. At least that's what the official Wikipedia entry would say. Which, honestly, might even kind of reveal it in the art book, which I would love to have. But officially in the game itself, at least in the sense of playing the game, no official announcements of the name are there. Names are kind of the irrelevant bit, but a lot of times the names give you insight of kind of where they got the idea of the characters. The third one, the one that was on top of the giant plateau area with the sword, was apparently named Gaius, and oh hey Eagle. It was named Gaius, which is kind of course, reference to Gaia, which was a titan of... There's a lot of, actually, gods, but main Gaia was a titan for Greek and Roman mythology. So, but all of them kind of have that kind of nature of being almost godlike. Also giving kind of the idea that possibly they were worshipped by whatever group created them. And if even a group did create them, we're not sure. But the temples give you the feeling that there was a human society here. Because obviously some of the doors and spaces are only big enough to fit people through and not a Colossus, so... I can't imagine a Colossus building them.
It also does add the idea of if some of them were imprisoned.
Potentially. Which it kind of also references a lot of times like the Titans. A lot of them were prisoned to the gods, or given some kind of awful punishment. God, Greek and Roman mythology's fucked up. Seriously, if you want to read a story that just makes you say what the fuck, just read some Greek and Roman mythology. Zeus was a dick. Seriously, he raped everybody. Hera was all jealous and pissed off, and I just stepped over a lizard and squished it.
I heard that.
Whoops! I mean, come on, Zeus raped a person disguised as a swan. How fucked in the brain would you have to be after that? Trying to feed one bread, and then it rips off your clothes.
Isn't Zeus the one that gives birth to Was it Persephone by his head?
Yes. But which I loved. I always felt bad for this, but I always ruined people's Disney cartoons because I'd just be like, remember the nice Zeus that was in the Hercules movie? You should know that Hera hated Hercules. In fact, Hera was like the primary villain, not Hades. Hades was actually rather unbiased. They treat him like the devil in, or at least they made him a Satan character in the Disney version, but he was rather unbiased. He was just pretty much the guardian of Hades. But Hera was the one that always was trying to kill that son because it was like, oh, you slept with a mortal girl, so I'm gonna fuck up your baby. But apparently this baby is really strong, and that's the story of Hercules. Obviously, with something like this, the big thing that tends to pop in your mind is the Christian story of David and Goliath. Obviously, a smaller character killing some larger beast, which apparently is based off of a real event in which God, who ended up killing? I think it was a Babylonian ended up killing a giant Filipino warrior that was pretty much killing everyone and killed him with a slingshot, which is true because slingshots were actually really fucking deadly. You'd fling a rock about the speed of an arrow at somebody's head, it will kill you. But yeah, situations like that. I love accuracy in a lot of these kind of mythologies and stories. But obviously, Disney couldn't just be like, Hercules was born from Zeus, and Hera's pissed because it's a rape, baby! Which just makes that Zeus smile that he had throughout the movie all the more creepy. Anyway, we've run into bats now, just for that split second, and there's some more up there. What I would have loved is the Colossus look like a bat. No spoilers, but there's no bat Colossus. This one's really cool, though, and I love the realm around it. This guy is kind of an asshole, though. All admitting. I will need aggro again for this one, and also I'll need speed. And my bow and arrow.
Well, I think I did see this clip a little bit. Yeah, the sandworm.
This one is creepy as shit. Mainly because of its eyes, which you can't see right now. But its eyes will give you nightmares. I mean, you know how I mentioned that you usually have to provoke a Colossus into attacking you? This fucker wants to eat you. And he makes no disguise of that fact. The music actually gives you a good idea how close you are to the Colossus. I like to lock my camera onto him just to keep track of him, because obviously I don't want him sneaking up on me. But, he's pretty fast. See, I didn't provoke him. I was just in his area. This could be just revenge for me killing all the 9 other of his friends, but...
I did call him a giant sand dick.
I meant it as a compliment, sorta.
It's not like he speaks my language. Nice one, Aggro.
Yeah. Nice little dodge on Aggro's part. Aggro behaves pretty well on this part overall. He doesn't die, that's a positive.
Can he, though?
No, not at least in this sense. He tends to have a way of running away from danger. You've seen him do it.
Yeah, mainly you.
See, this is where it can get tough. What I'm wanting to do is chase me, because he has a weak spot, which are his big creepy fucking eyes.
Wow.
But he's trying to eat me. And the music kind of dictates, like, he's a big carnivorous asshole. But I keep the camera lock on him so that way I can keep track. But the big thing is that I'm waiting for the big weakness to pop up, those big creepy fucking eyes. And I shoot him in the fucking eye.
And for your friend to sign on.
Of course.
So you could share the creepy eyes with him.
Just take a picture and be like, hey guys, check this out. Have nightmares, y'all, lol. This is just an awkward position for him.
I actually remember seeing that thing where it said that guy had signed on. I was worried it said Thornbrain, like I'd ruined the video.
You broke the fourth wall. But you've just seen pretty much the strategy. This is, I'm trying to get him to crash into a wall from being blind after shooting him in the eye. And he's making that cry kind of like the the giant aggro.
This one we don't have sympathy for.
He's a scary motherfucker who's trying to eat me, so... Yep, that's how you jump again. That's a straight-up jump of victory, obviously.
I'd like to see you put that helmet on and yell victory.
You know what, I could just be Poseidon and also rape everyone and yell victory. Speaking of another rapist. They were brothers of rapists. The nicest one was Hades. Isn't that ridiculous?
Not necessarily.
I think he was just the quiet brother that never complained. I guess I'll be Guardian of the Otherworld. I don't give a shit.
You're already dead.
Yeah.
I can't make him any worse.
And just a slight inaccuracy from the Disney movies, there weren't any black soul singers in Greek and Roman mythology. If that wasn't obvious. He has a little bit of defensive gyrations there. Luckily when he's like this, he's pretty fucking helpless. I think it would have been kind of cool if he did eat aggro and I had to cut open his stomach to get him. It's like, you're giving him back there. I love how the horse is just standing there. I'm waiting.
Yep, that sure is a stab.
Yeah, this one's luckily a pretty quick one. As I mentioned, when he's like this, he's pretty defenseless. I could have probably won this one on a time race. There's a couple of them later that I can't. Just saying, I can't. That poor little fishy worm died. It's okay, he was ugly. That's the rule for everything.
Not that we're getting any prettier.
No, not really. You know what, I've always tried to get on the horse, but Aggro's a little asshole that runs off as soon as those tentacle things come out. I don't know how to fight those. I still hear him, though, that's the problem. What a dick. Just like Zeus and Poseidon. And Hera's a bitch, and... all the gods were kind of awful, to be honest. I mean, I felt bad for the Titans. I mean, the Titans were kind of dicks too, but... Here, we're going to tie you to a rock and let this bird eat your liver every day. Because it'll grow back so it eats it again. The moral of the story is don't do drugs, by the way. Obviously.
The only people who could come up with Greek and Roman mythology were on drugs.
Like most other mythologies. Bible! Anyway, without being controversial, I think that ends the story. Bye, half our viewers. And hello to other ones, probably.